द्वन्द्वातीतं गगनसदृशं तत्त्वमसि एकं नित्यं विमलमचलं सर्वदी साक्षीभूतं भावातीतं त्रिगुणरहितं सद्गुरुं तं नमामि. Nithyananda, everyone, I welcome all of you for this Cause Your Reality program. We are here to share our experiences with the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, with our experience of the Avatara Darshan, Paramashivam, and the Sarvaguna that the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism has been bestowing us with the powerful initiations through Paramashivam. Before we start sharing our experiences, let's understand a brief introduction about the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism. The grand narrative of the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, Jagadguru Mahasannidhanam, His Divine Holiness, Bhagavan Nithyananda Shivam. The advent of the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism in Tiruvannamalai, born on January 3rd, 1978, in the holy town of Tiruvannamalai, South India. On 17 July 1981, at just age of 3, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, Bhagavan Nithyananda Paramashivam, was initiated into Bala Sannyas, a child saint by enlightened beings, masters, and his predecessors through a ritualistic ceremony. Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism was identified incarnation by enlightened actors such as Yogiraj, Yoganandapuri, Vidwan Panduranganada, 230th Mahasannidhanam, the Sunday Mandala Adhinam of Kali Mutt. As you photograph here, the coronation at the age of 16 revived Kailasa. You can see photograph the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism was organized to be taken by his Vedanta Guru, Mati Vibhudanandapuri, also called Kaji Kupamal, and icons. The Kamandal is the water part. To the left of the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, and a wooden shaft to all of which were given by her as the traditional items that are over, along with the official induction as successor into the lineage. You're seeing the photographs of the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism in the early days in his mission. As you see, when the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, very young, the temple monastery complex of his Mataji Vibhudanandapuri in Tiruvannamalai was built brick by brick by the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism himself. His gurus guided him and he followed. And you can see the middle photograph where the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism on 4th November 2002, August 24, age of 24, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism establishes the headquarters of the Kailasa Sarvagna Peetham in South India. And you can see the various photographs of the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism in his early days in the mission. Some more photographs where the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism at the mere age of 27 conducts the mass living enlightenment initiation convention in South India. And see some more photographs where on 18th September 2015, Kumbh Mela, Nasik, the Supreme Point of Hinduism initiates thousands into mass living enlightenment. And 5th May 2016, the Supreme Point of Hinduism initiates the mass living enlightenment at Kumbh Mela festival in Ujjain, India. And now we see the various coronations of the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism. Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism ordained as the 233rd Guru Mahasannidhanam of the Kanchi Kailasa Sarvajnapeetham, that is Tandai Mandala Adhinam. The Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism as the incumbent emperor of the Surya Vamsha Surangi Samrajyam. The next that we see, Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism is the present 23rd Guru Mahasannidhanam Mukis Sargapuram Adhinam. And the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism is the present 293rd Jagat Guru Mahasannidhanam of Kailasa Onnata Shamala Pita Sarvajna Peetham. And the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism is the present Mahamandaleshwar of Mahanirvani Akhada, the largest apex monastic order. And the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism is the 1008th Acharya Mahamandaleshwar, head for all spiritual of Atal Akhada body, the largest apex body of Hinduism. And you can see the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism elected as the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism by a congregation of over 1,000 leaders. Now you can see the sovereign state of Sri Kailasa. The Kailasa is a microcosmic ancient Hindu enlightened civilization nation whose vision is living enlightenment for all of humanity. Kailasa's mission is to revive and share with today's world the practical applications of the greater sciences of authentic Hinduism, including Hindu cosmic physics, Hindu alchemy, Hindu cosmology, Hindu biology, Hindu mathematics, power manifestation, and other sciences as revived by the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism. These sciences were once practiced freely in over 56 nations across the continent, but are now facing extinction due to persecution over a millennium. The 108 Sri Kailasa United the Skun Initiative, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, started the various projects. The 108 Sri Kailasas project, 108 initiatives to support a variety of humanitarian services, which collectively allows for the creation of an enlightened, peaceful, sustainable, equitable, resilient, and thriving world. Under the No Hungry Home project offered by the school for nutritious food and a hunger-free world, 1 billion meals over the past 27 years. Every month for the past 27 years, the Hindu the community has served more than 3 million Annadanam, that means of free organic meals as per the tradition, in religious gatherings to everyone without discrimination. 10,000 meals are free of cost and up to 100,000 on festival days. And the Kailasa's protective and preventive COVID center offered by the school for affordable and holistic healthcare. During the pandemic, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism converted his monastery campuses into a multi-layer quarantine facility and free for all people, regardless of any differences in age, gender, caste, creed, ethnicity, color, or socio-economic status, food, shelter, and internet. All basic facilities, including free medical care for an indefinite period of time. So, over 30 million citizens followed Kailasa's 28-day spiritual regimen in 2020. University and Nithyananda Gurukul for education, reform, and development. The University, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, established the Nithyananda Hindu University, the largest Hindu university. The Gurukul on October 2nd, 2006, the Supreme Pontiff inaugurated the Nithyananda Gurukul, the revival of ancient Adi Shaiva Guru disciple education, an authentic knowledge transmission system based on enlightenment. 20 million books enrolled, 7,000 plus free courses, and extended campuses in 150 countries. The Nithyananda Hindu Jnanalaya is another project, the Hinduismpedia, offered by SKUN for the protection of Hindu scriptures. And the conferences for world peace offered by SKUN for global peace and religious harmony. Women empowerment programs offered by SKUN for feminine empowerment, gender equality. Nithyananda Yoga offered by SKUN for yoga, and the 2 Guinness World Records established on September 30th and October 3rd. Is being heavily persecuted continuously for over a decade. The Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, Nithyananda Paramashivam, is unwavered in his intention, commitment, and action in building the only Hindu nation, the sovereign state of Sri Kailasa, to protect, revive, and preserve Hinduism, the most ancient, most peaceful, still living, and long lasting demonstrable system that shows the possibility of peaceful coexistence. So, despite being heavily persecuted continuously for over a decade, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, Paramashivam, is unwavered in his intention, commitment, and action in building the only Hindu nation, the sovereign state of Sri Kailasa, to protect, revive, and preserve Hinduism, the most ancient, most peaceful, still living, and long lasting system that shows the possibility of peaceful existence amongst the people. The sovereign state, the ancient, enlightened Hindu civilizational nation, the first nation of Hindus. Kailasa, led by the Pontiff of Hinduism, Nithyananda spoke on of the global diaspora at the 14th session of the United Nations Forum on Minority Issues. quantities of Hinduism survived the torture and murder attempts by the state and non-state actors. Over 70 assassination attempts and physical attacks on Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism in India and abroad, and the 40 attacks on community members, destruction of monasteries and temples, and over 60 incidences of attack, molestation of and rape of women and women monks, intense lawfare via over 100 fake legal, all but one are dismissed. Intersectional persecution using the entire government mechanism, politically owned media, police, and judiciary controlled by politicians, inciting mob violences via social media. Despite being persecuted heavily, the Supreme Court of Hindu continuously sharing, contributing to the world with his initiation, with his various service projects and the powerful teachings. Now, the what are the sharings, the Sakshi Pramana of the initiation and people, the participants who stood, who took these initiations, who participated in these initiatives. Let us listen to the sharings.
Who have like each and every have like an episode have having experience to share, and and this is one of my favorite segments as well, just to hear information of Hinduism brings out in and devotees worldwide. That's something that all of us can just listen. Just by providing our listening, it brings so much of every one of us. So today we have joining us. First is from Singapore, Nithyanandam.
Nithyananda, Ma, can you hear me well?
Nithyanandam, I can hear you very well, Ma. Thank you so much for joining today. And first of all, I would like to thank you for joining to enrich the world with your experience. The Supreme Pontiff always says, whenever you take responsibility to share your experience, you are enriching the world. So Paramashivam, really sincerely thank you for taking your time to come and share your experience. So before that, could you share a little bit about yourself? Your name, where you're from, what do you do, and how long have you known our
Okay. My name is My spiritual name is Ma Parameshwari, which was just given by Swamiji not too long. I'll go in PSM3. I am working as a customer service in the corporate world right now, and I am from Singapore, and I assist with the e-group pool. About 3 to 4 years already.
Oh, wow. Beautiful, Ma. And 3 to 4 years. So have you met Swami so far? Have you met Swamiji physically?
No, Ma. No.
No. Oh,
Yes.
yes. And are you waiting to meet Swamiji soon?
Yes, the opportunity will come next year. So that's why, I've become JP. Or manifesting to become.
Oh, wow. So you have become a serving repeater. You're becoming a serving repeater Yajaman. So not just you, people like you all over the world who have connected with Swamiji, who are having amazing experiences sitting through Swamiji's online initiations, are just waiting to have the darshan, the physical darshan and the touch, the sparsha of Swamiji. I can so totally understand that, Ma. And I really wanted to appreciate you for taking the responsibility to becoming a part of making Kailasa happen by becoming a Sarvingapita Yajaman. So first question that I would like to ask you is, what was the inspiration that you had that made you decide to become a Sarvingapita Yajaman?
Actually, Ma, is really this PSM3 session. You all have been talking so much about Kailasa and talking about, SJP. To be honest, from the beginning, I was never interested. I've heard about SJP, but I was never really interested, only until now, Ma. So then I started thinking, oh, okay, Kailasa. I've never done anything for Kailasa, so I wanted to contribute. So that was the first thought. And then after that, okay, what's this SJP thing? Because it's scary. It means that you have to be very rich because that's my first cognition, Ma. Okay, so that was my first cognition. So after that, then there's this link that you all gave, and I went and said, oh, wow, there's so many, benefits. Cosmo will shower on you, you get transformed, you are helping Kailasa, which was something that I wanted, which was the very first initial intention. So then I decided, okay, let's do it. So I actually, filled in the form 2 to 3 times, but no one came back to me, Ma. Until Ma Duga started this group, and then we started gathering this about. So that was the inspiration, Ma. Basically, it's for Kailasa, and also it helps myself too. It's an opportunity for me.
Beautifully shared, Ma. And I apologize for you for one of us not getting back to you sooner. Yes. So what aspect of Kailasa that made you feel like I want to contribute to this?
Because this is going to be my home, Ma. In my family, I'm the only one that, believe in Swamiji. They don't. So ultimately, if this is, Kailasa is going to be the place where this cruelty free, and we don't have all this SDHD and things, then that's where I want to be. And then we don't eat meat. I'm an animal lover, I don't eat, we don't eat meat. So where else to go but to Kailasa?
So beautifully said, Ma. And there's one line that you said really touched me. You said, Ma, Kailasa is our home. Where else to go? That is where I want to be. So beautifully put, Ma Parameshwari. And that was the inspiration for you to take an action towards Kailasa. So now that you decided that, yes, I want to contribute towards Kailasa, and your first cognition, like you said, and I'm sure many of the viewers who are watching us today do resonate with that, is many of us feel like, okay, you need to be really rich to be a Sarvanyapita Yajman. You said that was your first cognition. So how did you overcome that? How did you break that? How did you shift your cognition? And how did you manifest Sarvanyapita? Could you share your journey? What actions that you took? What cognitive shifts that you had? What are the experiences and what clicks you had that made you manifest becoming a Sarvanyapita Yajman today?
Okay, I think for me, Ma, the very first thing is that I wanted to contribute. So that was I did was initially I was thinking, okay, what do I do? And then I actually have two insurance policy with me. So what I did was I surrendered the insurance policy. I actually started with one insurance. It's really strange, right? Because from the process, from the time that I decided until the time that I transferred the money, there was nothing in me but doubt, fear, and all this SDHD thing that came up, this uncertainty thing. So I decided, okay, I will surrender one of the policy, and it's actually a lesser. And then I'm thinking, it didn't feel right. So I guess I'm just trying to say, you've got to surrender both of them. So I did the both of them. And then, I felt right. Okay. But from the time that I surrendered this, even though I decided, okay, yes, I will do it. This is fear in me. It's like, is Swamiji cheating me? I just start thinking of like, is this a cult, a clan, is someone going to kill me? All these funny thoughts start coming into my mind. Okay. And then fear, uncertainty, doubt, even waiting at the insurance company, waiting to get the check and surrender it. This whole process is, a lot of doubt and fear. And fear is my root pattern. It's my main root pattern. So I think for me, this is like the opportunity for me to work on my fear. So I see it as that as well. It's not something, it's like, they all say, sometimes you don't need all these things. You can manifest, but it's an opportunity for us to work on ourselves. So this, I forgot who one of Balasam actually talked about this, that it's actually, Shiva, Paramashivam giving us the opportunity to work on ourselves, and that just clicked with me. Okay, so that was how, and then I went through with the whole thing, and then I transferred, and then, so that's the whole story with me from the beginning until when I made the transfer.
So beautifully shared, Ma Parameshwari. And I do know from what you're sharing and what you went through it may not always have been the most easiest choice for us to make, because you do have to face, like what you said, right? Facing our own SDHDs, facing our own doubts and insecurities, and most importantly, the root pattern is fear, right? So when that gets awakened, it brings so much of insecurity, so much of, feeling like, okay, where my life is heading, and am I going in the right direction? All these starts coming up inside of us. And that is when we need to have that courage. Swamiji calls it the dhiratva, means the inner strength to be able to face our own patterns and make the right decision to overcome it. And I'm so happy to hear from you, just the tyaga that you have done of your root pattern. See, it is not a tyaga of anything else, but you actually did a tyaga of your root pattern. You deciding strongly, I am not going to let myself be pulled in by the root pattern, dragged down by the root pattern. Let me do the tyaga of the root pattern, and let me raise my consciousness to a higher level. So beautifully shared. And I want each and every one of us who are watching this, if we can just internalize so beautifully what Ma Parameshwari shared. The Sarvanya Pita journey is a journey for our individual transformation. It is a journey for a superconscious breakthrough for each and every one of us. And if you see, it will directly touch on your core pattern, which is actually blocking you, stopping you from manifesting Paramashivatva. So it is whatever is stopping you directly, the Sarvanya Pita, you towards Sarvanya Pita would be a ferocious decision that you take against your limiting patterns, against your obsessive compulsive patterns. And it is a breakthrough. It is a transformation for you to experience superconscious breakthrough. So beautifully shared, Ma Parameshwari. And so you overcame your root pattern. You decided to give a breakthrough to your own self by making the decision, and you very courageously took the action. And today you're very, very happy. So now that you have taken the action, how do you feel? I know when you go through the process, of course, you'll go through our insecurities, fears, and all that. But now that you have stuck to your stance and you made the decision and you have now made the transfer to become a Sarvanya Pita Yajman, how does it feel for you? And what is it that you would like to share with the devotees who are watching this today, who may be in the same position that you were maybe 2 weeks back or a month back, where they are still there, contemplating, should I take this or not? Is this the right decision or not? What is it that you would like to share from your own personal experience, Ma?
Okay. After the SJP thing, and then with these BSD darshans going on, I actually felt that I have more energy in life. I have this corporate job that I do from 8:30 to 5, and then I get paid on a monthly basis. It pays the bills, blah, blah, blah. But I'm not interested. I'm not happy. I'm not fulfilled. Okay. But now that I've done this, I decided that I want to do, and I felt so much happier now. I felt that I've got more energy, more enthusiastic in life compared to before. It's like, okay, this is what you're supposed to do. This is your life purpose, kind of thing. So that was how I felt. And then I also felt that I'm less fearful. The fact that I'm doing this online with you is breakthrough. Given before, this will never happen. I will never be doing this online thing with you. Impossible. Okay. By the way, I actually, told my no, I'm not ready. Then after that, okay, let's try this. It's probably so I'm just saying you've got to do this and try and break your fear. So my fears beginning to break down. Okay, let's say impact, and I also got a lot of clicks. A very important one. See, this fear pattern of mine, I have a tendency to, I feel that I don't have enough, always feeling that I don't have enough. Abundance. I have a tendency to want to have a lot of things. So this clicking, so that's why I enjoy the video. So now that I'm watching, it's like, okay, I'm less interested in it now. So along with that, what other things? Yeah, a lot of other things, Ma. For example, I'm getting ready for my my own little business. So I'm going to leave my corporate job at the end of December. I have no job now. I'm starting my own business. is that fearful or not? I have no more regular income. So it's slowly, working on me. So Swamiji gives you opportunity to work on yourself. It's just whether you want to take the opportunity and whether you want to decide and say, okay, let's do it. So the decision, I feel that is very important, because if you don't take that decision, then you cannot move on to the next step. So that was what happened to me. I took it and I'm moving on. I don't know what's going to happen, Ma. I'm leaving it in Swamiji's hands. So.
So beautiful, Ma. So beautifully shared, Ma Parameshwari Ma, and so many clicks. Like, as for those of you who are watching this, just listening to her authentic sharing of how at every step, making the right decision, right? The Hinduism, there is a beautiful verse that comes in Kathopanishad which says, at every point in life, you have a choice to make, whether you want to choose the good or you want to choose the pleasant, right? It is always life always gives you a choice between good and pleasant. And when you choose the good, means the right path for you, it leads you towards a superconscious breakthrough. So that is where each and every one of us are. And each of us have that choice to make at this moment in your life. As you're listening to Ma Parameshwari sharing, you have a choice to make, whether you want to choose the good. All my patterns and to experience the ultimate, you will see the cosmos supports you in every single level towards your superconscious breakthrough. And as just listening to Ma Parameshwari sharing, for me, it is extremely touching, because she is someone who is connected with Swamiji and who has not yet physically seen Swamiji. And there are thousands, if not more, around the world who have experienced Swamiji in such a deep way that Ma Parameshwari has experienced. Today she has become one. And it is our responsibility as Kailasa and as Sangha to an ambience, the Vatavarana, for every single disciple to have that physical darshan of Swamiji. For those of us who have experienced Swamiji's touch, for those of us who have experienced Swamiji's hug, for those of us who have experienced the breathing space of Swamiji, we know what it is like. And it is our responsibility to create that infrastructure so that the whole world can experience Swamiji. And Ma Parameshwari, even without seeing Swamiji, she has taken the responsibility for that. And if each and every one of us feel, it is our responsibility, and Avatar is there, human body, we have to ensure that we do whatever we can as the Sangha to be able to make the Avatar available to public. And all that we need today, Swamiji himself has worked and created the Kailasa nation. All we need is to pulling together the money is required to make the infrastructure for Kailasa so we can open it up for public. And then disciples like Ma Parameshwari get to have the physical darshan of Swamiji at the earliest. So beautifully shared, Ma Parameshwari Ma. And I would have never ever guessed that, you have fear of talking, because you spoke so beautifully right from the depths of your heart, right from your, the innermost voice was what came out, and so beautifully shared, Ma Parameshwari Ma. Is there anything else that you would like to share?
No, Ma, that's all. Thank you, Ma. Thank you for the opportunity. Thank you, Swamiji.
So beautifully shared, and thank you so much. Thank you so much for coming live and sharing your experience so authentically, Ma. Thank you so much.
Nithyananda.
Yes, that was such a wonderful, personal, very touching sharing for me, as I heard that from our Parameshwari from Singapore. Next joining us is Ma Heidi from New York. Hello, Nithyananda Ma.
Nithyananda Ma.
Nithyananda Ma Heidi, thank you so much for joining us today, for sharing your experience live with with the participants of the Bhava Samadhi Darshan program. Yes, we can hear you very clearly, Ma.
Thank you.
Could you share a little bit about yourself, you do, and how long have you known Swamiji?
My name is Heidi Schoen. I was given a spiritual name, which is Ma Nitya Satyavarshini. I, at the moment, and to have been introduced to Swamiji in 2005, and then I had the opportunity to actually meet him personally in 2007. So it is, and then I did my first inner awakening in 2010. That was my first trip to India. So yes, I have been very, very fortunate to be blessed this long with Swamiji in my life.
Oh, wow, beautiful. Ma, you're a senior to most of us here. And we heard about Swamiji in 2005, met Swamiji in 2007, and attended Inner Awakening in 2010. That's perfect. So beautiful, Ma. Thank you so much for coming and sharing today, taking your time to come and share your experience with all of us. So just wanted to hear from you. You know, I'm sure you have attended the Bhava Samadhi Darshans that have been happening, and you have experienced the presence of Swamiji. So what is it that you would like to share from your experience? How has been your experience of the Bhava Samadhi Darshans?
I mean, I find all of darshan incredibly powerful. I have, for myself personally, I think since Swamiji has reappeared with his updated new beginning in the spring, there's just much more subtle change in myself. I hear things differently. I have had shifts. I've had cognitive shifts. It's just amazing that all the things that I heard before, I hear again, but suddenly they just mean something very different to me. So it is
Very different.
very, very different experience, and it's been incredible. It's incredible to watch because I'm even seeing the transformation in myself. I mean, very often we can recognize transformation in others. It's easy to see it in others. You know, I used to be amazed at in one inner awakening to watch one person begin and at the end of 3 weeks look like a different person. And I feel like the darshan now is
Absolutely.
like every time, like we're now a new person, and the next day darshan, that new person is getting updated again. So it has been quite
Like to tell them in terms of, you know, really have as many people just joining for the darshan, just sitting and watching, you know, Swamiji during the darshan. And what is it that you would like to share in terms of just reaching out, right, ensuring, like, from your personal life, how much transformation you have experienced, and what is the possibility that it can open up for humanity at large, just coming for these darshans?
again, I think people need to come have the experience. I mean, like myself now, I could speak to somebody actually even during darshan this week. I was having a conversation, a texting conversation with someone already in the sangha, and I found myself causing them, and it was kind of interesting because I always avoided that experience, but now I feel so powerful. I mean, I just feel that the transformation is just so great that speaking about it at any level. So once we have the experience, it's so much easier to go out and then share with people your heartfelt experience. And I think just from that, people just get what's happening in you, and then they want some of that. You know, it's like becomes very contagious. The feeling becomes very contagious. So I think the preparation work is also very, very important. I've had again done some of these exercises over and over, and every time I find I see something else in myself that, and then of course the world around me changes as well. You know, so it's been a wonderful experience.
So beautifully shared, Ma. And is there anything else that you would like to share about the darshan or about the power manifestation or about your experience? Is there anything else that you would like to share?
Well, I wish everyone would meet Swamiji and have the opportunity to come. So I believe, I mean, I think Hinduism, as Swamiji talks, has offered so much to the world, and the world doesn't have really any idea about it. So it is our initiative and our taking up whatever actions they are, if it's some seva or if it's coming to darshan or it's enriching someone to darshan, it's up to every one of us who's had the experience to go out there and share it with the world, you know, to everyone. And yeah, I mean, I think that's the best that we can do, is just bringing that information out there and sharing it so that other people can be aware.
Absolutely, Ma. So beautifully said. Thank you so much, Harry, for coming and sharing your experience today with our devotees worldwide. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Ma. Nithyananda.
Thank you, Nithyananda. And for those of you who are watching, who just watched today's sharing, so beautifully shared by Mahedi and Ma by. And if you are ready, right, you can make that same decision that Ma Parameshwari made, saying, I am going to just take a ferocious decision and overcome my root pattern, because the whole Serving Abhida journey is a journey of inner transformation. It's a journey where we give up our root patterns, give up anything that is stopping us from manifesting the ultimate possibility, which is manifesting Paramashivatva in us. Anything else that stops me, I'm going to do Tyaga of that. That decision, it makes you a Serving Abhida Yajaman. So I invite each and every one of you, let every one of us have this fulfilling experience that I am making the right decisions in my life. So by making a step towards Serving Abhida Yajaman, and everyone I have spoken to, I know pretty much every Serving Abhida Yajaman, and everybody says only the same thing, that as soon as I became Serving Abhida Yajaman, I had so much of a wealth, abundance, prosperity just
welcome all of you, the whole world, to come and celebrate, enjoy not only the enlightenment ecosystem, the beauty of how it is getting revived. Be an insider for this great revival process. If you are an insider even for a startup company, you will understand not only the result of the company, even that being an insider is such a joy. Being an insider when it was happening is something extraordinary. So, I welcome all of you to come and be part of an insider of this revival of Kailasa, the enlightenment ecosystem, sovereign order of Kailasa, Kailasa nation itself. I request and welcome, invite all of you to become e-Kailasian, get your free e-passport and make billions receive this free e-passport.
Connecting with the divine with your eyes closed is meditation. Connecting with the divine with your eyes open is darshan. Come, let us all now move from meditation to darshan. Slowly, very slowly, please open your eyes.
ஆனந்தத்தின் மந்திரன், லோகநாயகியின் மைந்தன், உலகையே ஆள வந்த நித்யானந்தன். காவியமா ஆக்கிட்டாரு. அப்படியா? 7 கடல் தாண்டி ராசாவா வந்துட்டாரு. எல்லோருக்கும் ஊருதான் கண்டு வைக்கும், இவருக்கு தான் உலகமே கண்டு வைக்கும். சுத்தி போடுங்க நீ. எல்லாம் வளமாக வாழணும், இருக்கிற நாள் எல்லாம் நமக்காக மாத்தணும். அதுக்கு இப்போது நாம் என்ன செய்யணும்? நித்யானந்தரின் சொல் கேட்டு நடக்கணும். மனிதராய் பிறந்த நம்ம எல்லாம் காக்கத்தான் கைலாசா என்னும் புது உலக கொடுத்துட்டான். பகவானே வந்திருக்கா, மனித ரூபா கொண்டு இருக்கா. தர்மம் என்னும் சேரிலேறி ஞானம் என்னும் போரில் வென்றா மனித குலம் மீட்டெடுத்தா. வந்துருச்சி கைலாசந்தா, தந்துருச்சி சிவவாசந்தா, வந்துருச்சி.
ஓம் நித்யானந்தேஸ்வர பரமசிவ சமாரம்பாம் நித்யானந்தேஸ்வரி பரமசக்தி மத்யமாம் அஸ்மதாச்சார்ய பர்யந்தாம் வந்தே குரு பரம்பராம். I welcome you all with my love and respects. Sitting with us all over the world with my love, respects, blessings. Paramashiva's message directly from Kailasa. Collapse the time through your consciousness. Listen. Just sincerely listen. I'll make this as an initiation in you now. I don't have a time to waste, just give you satsang and then prepare you, then initiate you, then enlighten you. No. Neither want to waste your time nor want to waste my time. I want to make your time and my time best, most productive. Sit now. I'll give you the great truths verbally and powerfully initiate them into your consciousness. Make them as a reality manifesting in your life now. So sit with a deep sincerity. If you want, get a cup of hot chocolate, cup of coffee, tea. Just sit comfortably. If you are comfortable, that's enough. You can even stretch your leg, sit on your couch, or even lie down on your bed. That is all okay. Just be awake and comfortable. Stiram Sukam Asanam. Be stable and comfortable. For me, sitting in this straight, either Ardha Padmasana or Padmasana is the most comfortable. I think Padmasana is always my best. Stiram Sukam for me is my Padmasana. For you, it may be any asana which gives you that Stiram Sukam, means steady, stable and comfortable. Sukam. Get into your Stiram Sukam Asanam. It can be for some people stretching the leg, for some people sitting straight, for some people lying on the bed. Anything is okay. Just be stable and comfortable. I'll make this truth into reality in you. Listen. Understand these 5 dimensions: length, breadth, depth, time, space. Modern day scientists are trying to separate time and space, but ancient Vedic scientists, our masters, have always mentioned time and space more or less as a one. There's no watertight compartment between time and space. So anyhow, I'll try to explain in your logic, the logic which you understand, that way. So listen. When a breadth dimension manifests, it just swallows the length. Length loses all its qualities when it is taken over by the breadth. I tell you, when I was swallowed by Arunagiri Yogeshwara, I lost all my individual identity and qualities and quantity, everything. Just Paramashiva swallowed me and he became me. And I am happy about it. I welcomed it and I enjoyed it and I am enjoying it even now. And I am so happy I took the decision of offering me to Paramashiva for him to digest me into him. Like how Big fish swallows the small fish. Big snakes swallows the small snake. How my Guru Paramashiva just swallowed me and digested me into him. Same way, higher dimensions just swallows the lower dimension. When breath manifests, it just swallows the length. When depth manifests, it swallows the breadth and length both. When time manifests, it swallows length, breadth, depth, all three. When space manifests, it swallows time, length, breadth, depth, all four. When consciousness manifests, it swallows all. Length, breadth, depth, time, space, all. I am telling you, you have consciousness which can just swallow the time. You can apply this science very practically in your day-to-day life. You can make it into reality. Anything which you think may happen in future, for example, you are working 8 hours a day. In the same way, if you work, you will make $1 million in 2 years. But if you consciously apply your will persistence, infuse that in your day-to-day activity, that 2-year time will be drastically reduced to 2 months, 2 weeks, sometimes even 2 days. That is what I call power manifestation. And it is not something difficult. Understand? You have been empowered, hardwired with consciousness. Without consciousness, your body cannot function. Understand that. If you are able to convert blood into blood, be very clear, you have consciousness. All the mechanisms, spare parts, hardware, software, everything needed for a consciousness to function, manifest itself, if only that is available end to end, the inhaling comes out as exhaling, and blood gets converted into blood. If all this is happening in you, even with the difficulty, be very clear, you have consciousness. You just need to decide not to have the fear about the struggle and failures. Treat that struggle and failures very cheaply. Don't be afraid of it. Once my guru told me very clearly, Arunagiri Yogeshwara, "Hey, pasi tangal udal shakti, pari tangal mana shakti, bhakti tangal uyir shakti." If I just explain these 3 statements, it will go for another 3-4 hours. I'll do that. Now, first understand this one thing. Stop being terrorized, frightened about your struggles and failures. The moment you decide your consciousness is the supreme identity you have, you will not empower. You will not empower your depression, your frustration. Listen, power your depression has over you is you thinking how many ever times I try to stop this depression, I am not able to, I am failing, I am again and again falling into this depression. This thought empowers your depression. Any pattern you have, you giving up first is the power that pattern gains. Listen, understand this. It's a very subtle trigger you go through. Anyone allows this trigger to become a lifestyle, you become the serial offender of consciousness. If you say, oh God, I struggled so many times with my depression, I am not able to keep up, I give up. This thought will make depression as a lifestyle for you. Stop getting tired. Stop getting bullied by your failures. Yes, till yesterday you failed. That does not mean you are going to do it. What is there? Till yesterday I failed. Okay. So today I have a chance. Either I will be successful or failure, same as yesterday. So there is nothing to lose. That's all. Look at that from this angle. Deal your problems, whether it is simple headache or depression or the worst suicidal patterns or life negativity, only through consciousness. Don't go for any other solution. Don't go for any other solution. Yesterday, one fellow was trying to describe my Gurukul. Oh, Gurukul means you have to do everything enlightenment focused. Nothing practical or things needed for your day-to-day life should be done. What a violent, terrorist fellow to give this worst description about Gurukul. Not only Gurukul, on enlightenment science, doing everything consciousness, enlightenment centric, which is the most practical. The Macaulay is the most impractical, which even these stupid engineers don't use the instruments, get trained in their practical lab with something which they are going to work once they come out of engineering college. I tell you, I did engineering diploma and I have seen enough of engineering colleges. You get only the museum of the machines which was there long, long ago, once upon a time when India became independent. When you are studying, this so-called Macaulay's education system is the most stupid, outdated, impractical. And this fellow, the Macaulay monster, is thoroughly brainwashed. He thinks the enlightenment-centric system is most impractical and nothing related to life should be done. Oh God. But one good news is that fellow was not in front of me physically. So he saved himself. He escaped. I tell you, dealing your life conscious centric, enlightenment centric, is the most practical, powerful, real actual life. Struggle is nothing but justifying your laziness, arrogance, stupidity as a cute part of you. Be ferocious, be practical with yourself. Life is life positivity. Life is for those who decide to be life positive. Understand? Monica Sulender, Nitya Nishkrodananda. Blessings. I read your message. I went to him. Don't worry. Now listen. If you are already successful, then there is a danger of losing something which you gained through your success. But you already failed, then there is nothing to lose. Have guts, courage. Beggar has nothing to lose. If already you have failed multiple times, then there's nothing to lose. Develop a powerful will persistence. That's the most important asset for life. A powerful conscious will persistence. Your consciousness as power at this moment to swallow, digest, clean up all the incompletions, struggles, frustrations, failures, depressions, all negativity and all toxins. Listen. Sit with your life situations. Don't avoid. Decide to pour conscious solution. Decide to be intense in every activity. everything you need, knowledge, cosmic support in the form of intelligence, resources, blessings, energy, all is available. Hey, listen. All is available. I am not giving you some life positive blah blah. I am giving you the facts of life. I am not helping you in positive thinking. No. Thinking itself is a shit. What is there in positive thinking? Listen. I am triggering your consciousness. I am triggering your consciousness. Look into your life. Listen to this. Time itself is nothing but your decision to be lazy, arrogant, stupid, and struggle with the same rut. Your decision to struggle with the same rut is time, Kala. Your decision to swallow time is Kala Bhairava. Your decision to struggle with the same rut is Kala. Your decision to swallow the time and all the struggles, frustrations, everything is Kala Bhairava. Whether in the health level or in the thinking level, conscious level, don't struggle with the same problem second time. Don't be a cheap stupid to struggle with the same pattern second day. Hey, once you struggled with one pattern, that's okay, enough. Why will you do the same struggle second time? I always tell my disciples, at least don't do the same mistake again and again. Even if you decide that much, that's enough. Because you are not that creative to do new mistakes. If you decide not to do same mistake again, you will not do any mistakes. In few days, you will exhaust all mistakes. You will not be able to creatively find new problems. You are not that creative. I trust your ability. I know you. You are not that creative to come up with new problems. So listen. Listen carefully. If you decide to break even one pattern, one struggle, one frustration, one failure, you reduce the time drastically. 1 million per 2 year, it reduces into 1 million in 2 months. Listen. I'm talking in the angle of money because only that you understand. You can apply this in the angle of health, in the angle of anything. Day-to-day life, relationships, career, in every level, business. when you decide not to get frustrated about your frustration, not to be failed by your failures, not to be depressed by your depression, when you outsmart your repetitive thought currents are time has nothing to do with chronology. Listen, only an ordinary worker who gets up, goes to office morning 8 o'clock and works like an ordinary worker is bound by the chronological time. 99% of you, at least my devotees, my disciples who are following me, who have become economically independent, self-sufficient, who are boss, your own boss, you all don't live actually in chronological time. You all live in psychological time. Chronological time is used only for 1 or 2 meetings with outsiders, Boloka people. Like these birthdays, Saranka Vidyakaran Malitya Lalatakshananda, birthday blessings. So like this birthday or meeting with the people of the Boloka, planet Earth. For that you may need chronological time. But you don't exist and live in chronological time. See, once you are self-sufficient, you are your own boss, you have your time, your life for yourself. You don't live in chronological time, you live in psychological time. Psychological time is nothing but the rut of mental patterns. Somebody asked Swamiji, in Ramayana there is a story, Ahalya was cursed to be a stone for ages. Was she really for millions of years lived as a stone? Listen, if you decide not to break your depression, the millions of years chronological time, you will be in depression. But the moment you decide to break that pattern, you just swallow the whole millions of years and wake up now. The feat of Sri Ramachandra triggered so much of joy, life positivity, clarity, love in her. She just decided to get out of the depression state. Understand? She just decided to get out of the depression state. That's all. Now, I'll give you just 2-3 minutes. Take a paper and pen and try to pen down what is the major patterns with which you are struggling now, today. You don't need to list from your birth. Now, immediately if you open your eyes, who are the enemies you are seeing in front of your eyes other than your spouse? Other than your spouse, you will be seeing some enemies in front of you. The internal enemies. List them. I'll initiate you. demolish this concept of time through your consciousness. You can just collapse the time and swallow it inside. You are empowered conscious. Don't decide to fast forward life. Decide to swallow time. Listen. I'm repeating. Now decide to bulldoze your laziness. Be ferocious with your self-depressing, self-detaining doubts and patterns. Load yourself with more commitment, more responsibility, more activism. Bulldoze your laziness and commit. Tomorrow onwards, I'm going to do the yoga. And after 1 week, if you feel nothing wrong, don't worry. Again, I'll come to satsang and scream at you and force you to do the yoga. See, as long as you have me as your guru, as long as the kantamala is there in your neck, don't worry. What I will do, I don't know, but I'll get you enlightened. I'll make you manifest Paramashivatva. Only if you remove that, then after that, it's your life. As long as you have that, your commitment to me, I know what to do with you. I can outsmart all your patterns because I have outsmarted all my patterns. I can easily outsmart your patterns. So understand, don't worry about, today if I commit more to do exact yoga, puja, and whole day to be active. After 1 week, again, I'll feel loaded, I'll fail, and I'll fall into frustration, more worry, more struggle, more depression of failure. Oh, the same rat. No, don't worry. After 1 week, I will come and scream at you. Satsang is nothing but screaming at you very politely, that's all. Don't worry. Because it's a public platform, I cannot loudly scream. But when you hear inside you, the inner guru, he will scream at you deeply, don't worry. The voice only which you and me hear, that will be different. The voice which everyone hears along with you will be very socially polite, politically polite. But inside you, I am sitting inside your Anandagandha. The voice which only you and me can hear, that will be different, don't worry. As long as you have Kantamala, I am your guru, I will make you enlightened. It's my commitment. Don't worry about tomorrow, day after tomorrow, failure, collapsing. Today decide, hey, all this is in front of me. I will swallow it and finish it off. I am telling you, I myself broke one pattern at a time. That is the way I evolve. Then breaking the pattern becomes pattern after 2-3 successes. That made me break 100 patterns a day. Then that gave me the courage and made me break 1,000 patterns. And finally, one day I broke everything. Length, breadth, depth, time, space, everything, and swallowed everything into consciousness, and superconscious swallowed the consciousness also. That's all. Don't keep stupid, toxic, life negative struggles inside. Don't think if I jump today too much height, try to fly, I may fall after a week. It's okay. I'll be there as a net to protect you and raise you. I'll be there. And I am there all the time. After 2 days again, I'll raise you. Don't worry. I'll come back for one more satsang and sit and scream at you like this. I'm like an old man sitting on that veranda outside the house, swallowing the betel leaf and nut and terrorizing every fellow who walks around here and there, who falls in my eyes. Every house will have like this one old grandfather who will be sitting, swallowing, chewing the betel leaf and betel nut. And anyone falls in their eyes, that day they are gone. He will bring their whole jatakam and wake him up and make him up. I am like that kind of an old person. I'll be continuously reminding you, don't worry, till you become enlightened. I won't rest. Till you become Paramashiva, I won't rest. Don't worry at all. Ramesh Ramani, birthday blessings. With all the auspiciousness, you will be with me, I'll be with you. Blessings. Listen. When I am giving you these great truths, don't think I'm trying to teach you life positivity. I'm giving a pep talk. No, I'm giving you initiation. Learn this truth, what I am talking, from the level of consciousness, from the perspective of consciousness, from the perspective of enlightenment. Only then when you do yoga, it will lead to enlightenment. Only then when you do puja, it will lead to enlightenment. You can do yoga just for health also. Who wants just health? Just health is not the goal. Health for enlightenment, health from enlightenment, health to manifest and radiate enlightenment. Health to manifest superconsciousness. That is what we want. Understand? Enlightenment centric health, enlightenment centric wealth, enlightenment centric relationships, enlightenment centric career, enlightenment centric power manifestation, enlightenment centric everything in and around you. To all my disciples, I give you this as a boon. With today's initiation, I'll swallow everything with which you are stuck and liberate you all. I'll empower your consciousness to swallow time. Time is nothing but a cheap struggle with the same cheap patterns. You know You get constipated with certain food, but you eat the same shit. That's what I call getting stuck in time in the level of health. Breaking from that, liberating yourself saves time. I tell you, if you save time by reducing the wastage of time in your life, even in one or two small things, Paramashiva then supports and saves you time without wasting it in your enlightenment manifestation, power manifestation. You break ordinary small pattern of food. Paramashiva will break the pattern of assuming the stomach and body. You break the pattern of one roga, one disease. Paramashiva will break the pattern of Bhavaroga, the disease of birth and death for you. See, this Nitya Yoga, Nitya Puja and all for this purpose only. Breaking the laziness ferociously. See, when you do Nitya Puja, you have to sit with yourself and Paramashiva. So naturally you have to break all frustration. Any frustration you have, it will finally land on Paramashiva only. Any doubt you have, it will finally land on Guru only. If you have a self-doubt, you will have a Guru doubt. Naturally, if you have a Guru doubt, you will have a Paramashiva doubt. You will doubt Paramashiva. When you sit for puja, all this will trigger in you. And you have to ferociously break that to sit for puja. So if you decide to sit for puja every day, all this rut, self-doubt, Guru doubt, Paramashiva doubt, all this will become irrelevant. And after 3-4 days, the doubts will feel so shy and doubtful about themselves. They will leave you, oh, this fellow, nothing can be done with this fellow. How much ever we bully him, he all the time goes with his Guru and we can't destroy him. They will go away and they may even go away to your mother-in-law. They may go away towards your enemies. You will be free. So understand. Swallow the time. Swallow the time by breaking pattern. If you have the laziness to do yoga, break it now. After the satsang, do 108 Surya Namaskar. By 30, 40, you may lie down. That is okay. Tomorrow I'll come and terrorize you and make you do 50. Day after tomorrow I'll come and terrorize you, whether through satsang or from inside, and make you do 108 Surya Namaskar. I tell you, in few days, you will see power. When you see the result, enlightenment becomes addictive. The moment I trigger the result in you, enlightenment becomes addictive. Power manifestation becomes addictive. Paramashiva becomes addictive. That is what my Guru has done in me, done to me. Arunagiri Yogeshwara, he showed the results. And then he became addictive for me. I tell you, the patterns with which you struggle gets documented in your kidney, in your intestine. When you break the patterns, again, that freedom gets documented in your kidney and in your intestine. Even they start supporting you. When you break the pattern of worrying, your digestion will suddenly improve. The detox happening in your body will suddenly improve. Somebody is asking the question, oh, Surya Namaskar has to be done only in Brahma Muhurta. Should I wait till the Brahma Muhurta comes, or can we do it in any day? உன் லைஃப்ல சாந்தி முகூர்த்தம் வர வரைக்கும் நீ எதுக்காகவாது வெயிட் பண்ணியிருந்தீங்கன்னா பிரம்ம முகூர்த்தம் வர வரைக்கும் யோகா பண்றதுக்கு வெயிட் பண்ணு. மற்றதுக்கெல்லாம் சாந்தி முகூர்த்தம் வர வரைக்கும் வெயிட் பண்ணலன்னா அப்புறம் சூரிய நமஸ்காரத்துக்கு மட்டும் எதுக்குடா பிரம்ம முகூர்த்தம் வர வரைக்கும் வெயிட் பண்ணுவீங்க? இதை விட நேரடியா எப்படா சொல்ல முடியும்? நல்ல வேலைங்களுக்கெல்லாம் மட்டும் முகூர்த்தம் பார்ப்பானுங்களாம். இவனுங்களுக்கு தேவையானதுக்கெல்லாம் அப்படியே முகூர்த்தம் வர வரைக்கும் வெயிட் பண்றானுங்களா? லூசாடா. நல்ல வேலைங்கன்னா மட்டும் உடனே என்ன பண்ணுவானுங்க? முகூர்த்தம், சுப முகூர்த்தம், அந்த முகூர்த்தம், இந்த முகூர்த்தம். மற்றதுக்கெல்லாம் மட்டும் என்ன சாந்தி முகூர்த்தம் டைம் வர வரைக்கும் வெயிட் பண்ணீங்களா? வேணுங்கிறதுக்கெல்லாம் முகூர்த்தம் வர வரைக்கும் வெயிட் பண்றது கிடையாது, மூடு வந்தோடனே முடிக்கிறது. நல்ல வேலைன்னா மட்டும் முகூர்த்தம் வரட்டும், இந்த முகூர்த்தம் வரட்டும், பிரம்ம முகூர்த்தம் வரட்டும், விஷ்ணு முகூர்த்தம் வரட்டும், சுப முகூர்த்தம் வரட்டும் அப்படிங்கிறது. லூஸ் பசங்களா. இதுகளெல்லாம் என்ன பண்றது? சரி, திட்டுறது மட்டும் தமிழ்ல திட்டினாதான் மனசு ஆறுது. உணர்வுல இருந்து பெரிய பெரிய பிலாசபி, all the spiritual principles and all, I feel satisfied by revealing in English. But the screaming, I feel satisfied only if I scream in Tamil. I poured my heart out as it is, raw, straight, unedited. So the person who put the question, you get my answer translated. That cannot be translated also. But I said, you try to understand the meaning on your own somehow. I tell you, I am brought up by very powerful gurus, most beautiful gurus who took my life as their life. See, actually, I am not a first generation success. I am almost like a third, fourth generation success. 3-4 generation before, the vision, ambition, my Guru, Paramaguru, Paramartha Guru, they cherished. My Paramartha Guru poured all his ambition, vision intensely into my Paramaguru. And my Paramaguru poured all his tapas, energy, intention, intensity into my Guru. And my Gurus have poured all their intention, energy, power, tapas, ferociousness, everything into me. I am that intense manifestation. That is why within the 44 years, so much has manifested through me. Understand? Only yesterday we realized, when we organized, till now, I think in when I was 12 or 13, I started writing books. Means like whatever I hear from my gurus, I started noting down and in an organized way. And the earliest book written by me, my own handwriting, we are able to retrieve is maybe when I was 13 or 14. My teachings from my gurus. What I received from my gurus, I decided to pen down in my own way. My teachings for myself, which I received from my gurus. Whatever I received from my gurus, how I need to apply it in my life, I started penning down. That is the earliest book available, written by my own hand. And the mantras I received from my gurus and the techniques I received from my gurus. From that time till now, all I have written, spoken, we have compiled and come up as books. You guys will be shocked. We have 3 full hard disks. Only one hard disk contains 1,100 books with ISBN number. Means already published, revealed to the world, and people are reading it, either hard copy or soft copy, digitally, Kindle, some form. And we have 2 more hard disks untouched. Means it has become a book, but not yet published with ISBN number. We are going to get the ISBN number and upload them as books. So much has been done in just 44 years because I had amazing gurus who were absolutely ferocious with me. They were very clear. They said, no question of do or die. If you die, who will do? No. No question of dying also. Just do. After that, what happens is different. Do is the only option. The intensity of 3-4 generations of my gurus poured into me made all this manifest. And I had an amazing ecosystem of gurus. It's not just one guru, please understand. I had a beautiful guru parampara. It's like a university. I learned Agaman Shaiva Siddhanta from Muduberumbulavar Vidwan Pandit, Yoga from Yoganandapuri, the science of Aushada from Narayana Swami, and Nirahara Samyama, and the science of Nirahara from Mauna Swami, the science of Advaita Vedanta from Isakki Swami, and experiential Suddhadvaita from Annamalai Swami, Tantra from Mataji Vibhudanandapuri, an amazing ecosystem. They literally did all the tapas in my body. And I will do the same for you all. As long as you are my disciple, you come and sit for the satsang, that's enough. I know what to do inside you, outside you, to make you manifest Paramashiva. I am a guy who makes it happen. No question of reasons. I always tell, valid reasons for your failure does not make success. Valid reasons for not doing is not equivalent to getting it done, making it happen. Make it happen. Shock everyone by making it happen. That's my life. Last 44 years, this is the statement I can make comfortably about me. Shock everyone, surprise everyone by making it happen. Surprise the people who love you. Shock the people who hate you. But both by making it happen. Whether I surprise or shock, it's always by making it happen. If I start 10 projects and only one is successful, I will start 10,000 so that at least I won't even bother. Oh, I started 10, one became successful. Let me start 10,000 and at least 1,000 will be successful. Even if it's 100 is successful, it's okay. Let me start 10,000. Unending excitement, enthusiasm, power, consciousness, life positivity swallows that length, breadth, depth, time, space, all the lower dimensions and makes you manifest Ishwaratva. Manifest Ishwaratva. Life is all about manifesting Paramashivatva. Don't waste time in going through the same rut and not deciding. In every level I am talking. I was so busy last 3 years, intensely working with a large team, almost 100 team worked for me to get these embassies, diplomatic relationships, home country agreements and sister city agreements and reaching out to multiple people and lobbying, getting the sovereign land for Kailasa, the autonomous lands and everything. Now we have a time to breathe because we have it to stitch ourselves as a name. present ourselves as a nation and offer it to the world. Sailing, smooth sailing. Then immediately I announced, let's have Paramashivam. That's it. Paramashivam level 3. That's it. Let's start our work. We did not have the programs directly conducted by me from morning till night, the whole day programs. Just because I was too engrossed in multiple meetings. You don't know how many country foreign affairs ministers, home ministers, prime ministers, presidents. We met and had sessions, calls. Pah. With grace of Paramashiva, directly Paramashiva's blessings, we are successful now. Now it is time we start the spiritual work again. Focus. Program starts, darshan starts. Soon, physical darshans will start. No question of relaxation should not be given the status of celebration after. More work is the celebration after each success. If you are successful, celebrate your success with more work. More work is the festival. After every festival, Utsava is successful. Make the Utsava into Nithyotsava to make life a celebration and festival. My boys know this. My girls, my boys, they know it. If you make one Brahmotsava successful, it is going to become Nithyotsava. This life is all about. More work. Celebrate the conclusion of one festival with next festival. The Brahmotsava, conclusion of the Nithyotsava. Now even our branches are empowered. The branch Kailasas all over the world are fully empowered to run Brahmotsavams and Nithyotsavams. Gauri S is messaging, I wish to have your physical darshan with family. The first batch which will receive physical darshan will be people who stood by me throughout this struggling period. During this period, whoever stood by me, those people will have the first darshan and they have the first right over the Kailasa. Like a founding fathers, all the SJP Kartas and SJP manifestors and people who shared their time volunteering, who stood by me, being Adinavasis during this crisis, stood with their commitment to me during the turbulent period, all of them will have the first right over the Kailasa. Anyone relevant to my life, every detail about that person inside me. People who are not relevant to my life, I even remember them. So be very clear. The Paramashivam level 3 is going to be more revival of the whole thing. Whatever I shared till now, condensing the whole thing and reviving it as starting from completion, unclutched power manifestation, vertical time zone, states of consciousness, science, the states of consciousness and the planes, multiple planes, everything. Gauri S is asking, I'm so happy you called my name. Please give name for my baby girl, Swami. If you are ready to give a girl to my Gurukul, I will give you name. If you don't want, you keep your girl and give one more birth. You keep one, you give one to Gurukul. Whoever you want to give it to Gurukul, that time maybe as a bonus, I will give a name for this girl also. Either you can give one more birth to a boy or a girl, or bring them up till the age of 7 and send them to Gurukul. Or inspire and enrich, at least make temple to live enlightenment, to practice Hinduism. Some way be active, alive. If you want to send that girl to Gurukul, then tell me, I'll name it. With whom grow? Based on that, I'll give the name. Please be productive in this way for Hinduism. Give birth till you can. If it is 10 kids, nothing wrong. Keep 3 or 4 for you to take care of you and your family lineage. Send all the remaining 7, 8 to Gurukul. I'll bring them up. They will be part of this Paramashiva Sena, the Paramashivas. I assure you, I'll give them the best. That's all. Gauri S is committing, she will do that. So when you send one baby to Gurukul, I'll give name for both babies. You put your original photo as a profile picture. Why are you just using? So I'll keep your face in my memory and ask you whenever I see, hey, you committed. Where is? The time you experience is just a mixture of laziness, repetitive